Today we shall be discussing the difference between payment and expenditure. Both these terms seem having the same meaning, but there is a lot of difference between the two. See, the payment means total cash paid during the current year. So the current financial year which is running, in that year, how much cash have you paid? How much cash has been overflown from the business? And expenditure means the total expenses incurred for the current year only. For this current financial year, how much expenses have been incurred? This is the meaning of the term expenditure. There are two words in this. I would like to highlight them. The first word here is the current year. The expenses only in the current year, right? We are not talking about the previous outstanding expenses or the prepaid expenses for the forthcoming year. First point is the expenses, total expenses incurred. Incurred. I am not using the word paid. I am using the word incurred for the current year, right? Here it was the cash paid, the cash paid during the current year, and here is the expenses incurred in the current year. I shall be explaining you in the coming slides with some examples. See, I have hired two clerks in my office, salaried 20,000 per month. The salary of each clerk is 20,000 for a period of a month. Now, but their salaries for the month of December for the current year is outstanding. So I have paid them for 11 months, but for this particular December month, I have not paid them. So what will be my payment? Payment will be the cash paid. For how many months have I paid? I have paid them 20,000 for 11 months for two clerks. So my payment comes out to be 4,40,000 rupees. As per the expenditure is concerned, see, 20,000 for 12 months for two clerks. That comes out to be 4,80,000 rupees. So when I'll be calculating the payment, I will be seeing the cash paid. So how much is the cash paid? Cash paid for 11 months. I'll be considering this in the payment. And for the expenditure, the expenses incurred. Now the salary of two clerks for the month of December expenditure has been incurred. I will not be considering under the head expenditure whether I have paid it or not. So my expenditure term, it will be taking 12 months irrespective of the fact that I have not paid them December salary. Clear? So payment will be considered for 11 months for which I have paid them, and expenditure, it will be taken for 12 months even if I have not paid for 1 month. Next, any cash paid is regarded as payment. So whatever cash you are paying, it can be cash for any XYZ. You don't care. Cash paid, it means it is payment. For which year you are paying the cash, I will not consider it. My payment term, this term means whatever cash outflow has been done from the business. And for expenditure, any cash paid may or may not be paid is regarded as expenditure. So even if the cash is paid or cash is not paid, still it can be an expenditure. It is not compulsory that item to be an expenditure, cash has to be paid. So please be very careful. It is not compulsory that an item to be considered as an expenditure, you have to pay cash for that. No, even if the cash is not paid, still the item can be covered under the term expenditure. And for an item to be considered under the term payment, the cash paid has to be there. Let me give you an example. Salary of the clerk is 20,000 per month. He takes 10,000 at advance for the next year. Right now, how much payment I have made? I have paid him 20,000 salary for 12 months, which comes out to be 2,40,000 rupees, correct? Plus as well, I have given him advance for 10,000 rupees. So this advance is for the next year, but because I have paid, cash paid is payment. So I have paid him, it will be calculated for the payment head. So the payment will be 2,50,000 rupees. But when I talk about the expenditure, it is 20,000 multiplied by 12 months. Now this advance paid will not come under the term expenditure because it is not incurred for this year. So expenditure will be 20,000 multiplied by 12 months, which gives you 2,40,000 rupees. Next, the payment, this is not confined to any accounting year. It includes cash paid whether for the present year or for the previous year or for the future year. So payment means cash paid. You don't consider for which year. You paid it for present year, this is payment. You paid for the previous year, this is payment. You paid for the future year, it is also payment. But for expenditure, it is confined to the current accounting year only. All the expenses incurred for this financial current accounting year will be your expenditure. I'll give you an example. The salary to my clerk is 20,000 per month. Okay. Salary of the previous accounting year was outstanding 10,000, which was paid in this accounting year. So this 10,000 is his salary for the previous year. I did not pay him, so that is why it is outstanding, and I want to pay him in this current year. So the payment will be 20,000 into 12 months for this year, which comes out to be 2,40,000 plus outstanding paid. Though it is of the previous year, it will be calculated under the term payment because you have paid him. So outstanding paid 10,000, this comes out to be 2,50,000. So I would like to repeat that cash paid whether for present year, previous year, future year. In this example, it is for the previous year and outstanding. So this will be calculated while calculating the word payment. As far as expenditure is concerned, 20,000 multiplied by 12 months, this will come out to be 2,40,000. Clear? Next. Payment, it can be of both capital and revenue nature. The underlining statement is cash paid. Cash paid of capital nature also is payment. Cash paid of revenue nature is also payment. But when you talk about the word expenditure, this has to be of revenue nature only. Cannot be of capital nature. Expenditure cannot be of capital nature. Give you an example. Salary paid is 2,40,000. I paid salary for this current year. Okay. Cash paid for the construction of office building is 20,000. Right. I paid extra for office building expenses construction. Now what will be the word payment? It will include this 240 plus this 20,000. It is capital nature and revenue nature. So both these expenses will be added and the payment will be 2,60,000 rupees. But for expenditure, this 20,000 will not be included in the term expenditure. You will show expenditure of only 2,40,000 rupees. Clear? Next. The cash decreases equal to the amount of payment. Now your cash balance will be lessened. It will be decreased by the amount of payments you have made. It's a very general logic. But for expenditure, cash may or may not decrease equal to the amount of expenditure. You get this point? Because say if your the salary is outstanding, if it is outstanding, you have not paid it, but still it will be counted as expenditure. So your cash will not get decreased by the outstanding salary. So I write that the cash may or may not decrease equal to the amount of expenditure. Now, payment. An item cannot be called payment unless an equivalent amount of cash has been paid. So, the criteria for the word payment is the payment of cash, outflow of cash. So, no item cannot be called as a payment unless and until you have paid equal cash. For an expenditure, an item may be called an expenditure even though the cash has not been paid. You don't pay the cash, it is not the criteria for an item to be added under the term expenditure. Now the payment is recorded on the credit side of cash book. It is credited to the cash account. It's a very simple notion. I hope every account student know this. And for expenditure, it is debited to income and expenditure account. So the treatment is different. And the payment, this is not included in the final accounts. The payment word, it's not included in the final accounts, and in expenditure, it is considered in the construction of final accounts. So here we come to the end of the article. I hope I have made the things very clear to you. In case you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me in the comment section. Like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay blessed.